I want to check out Nano's video. He said, "Stay safe. I made a new video. I want to see what it's about. The full Nostalrius story. How we went from private servers to classic WoW." This is Nano Nost. So Nano actually was a developer for Nostalrius back in the day. And now he's a big classic guy. And he's a great supporter of the classic community. But he actually worked on Nostalrius back in the day. And he was one of the Nostalrius developers that after Nostalrius got shut down, Blizzard flew him out to California to talk about Nostalrius and private servers and the potentiality of classic WoW. And this is actually back like in early 2017 or so, I think. So, yo, Winky, good morning. He's probably going to talk about all of that shit. Let's talk about this.
It's been 5 years since Nostalrius shut down its vanilla WoW private server. And I think it's finally about time to talk about the reasons why. What happened behind the scenes? Why did Nostalrius shut down? How did the Blizzard meeting go?
Ooh.
And how this all eventually led to Classic.
Okay.
So let's go.
It's been 5 years. Holy shit.
So for those that don't know me, I'm Nano. I was part of the Nostalrius core team, one of the 5 people who helped to lead the Nostalrius project. And if you're not familiar with what Nostalrius is, well, I'm going to let somebody you're probably a little bit more familiar with explain it for me.
Today we're going to be talking about Nostalrius. Now, if you guys don't know what Nostalrius is, it's
crazy. It looks like he had even less hair. He actually got hair back. This is like 5 years ago. He actually has more hair now than he used to.
vanilla WoW private server, which means that it's not hosted by Blizzard, it's not owned by Blizzard, and it's also not condoned by Blizzard.
So now you're probably wondering what made Nostalrius different than the hundreds, potentially, of the other private servers that have existed before. Well, the number one thing, and the biggest thing that comes in the world of MMOs in general is, do you have players? And Nostalrius certainly did.
That's
At
true.
the 1 year mark of our server, we had over 130,000 active accounts. That means accounts that have logged in once during that month prior, and capped at 13,100 concurrent players on the server on a single server at a single time. We had over
If you don't know what it's like to play on Nostalrius back in the day, I'll give you a very, very good example video real quick. This is what Nostalrius was like. It was fucking sick. This is what it was. Every day. Non-stop action. No lag. Holy shit.
The garrison has been one of the best things about the expansion so far.
That's right. I love this video, man. This video is so fucking good.
When you log in, you gotta check your garrison cache. 74 garrisons. Okay, let's see what quests we have. Strategic Assault choice either solo stuff in Shadow Moon Valley for 800, or the also solo stuff, I guess. We cannot quite afford to upgrade the War Armor yet. 900 resources is a bit more to go.
So that's what it was. Okay, that's what it was like. So that's what he helped build, okay, back in the day.
2 billion characters created in total over the course of that 1 year mark.
It's a lot of players.
Nostalrius Legacy. And for those who are really interested about what level of our GM work went into running a server of this size, we'll take a look at these numbers. An absolutely staggering amount of people decide they want to spend their time on Nostalrius. And so why would they do this? What was it about Nostalrius that brought people back to playing this game, going out of their way and playing a quote-unquote illegal version of World of Warcraft? Well, many at that time had felt that the retail version had stepped away from the core values of what made an MMO, and they wanted to try again to capture the magic that existed in vanilla WoW, and they sought it out with Nostalrius. So then why did it shut down? Well, as our friend Asmund mentioned, private servers aren't exactly legal. We didn't have a right to run a server using Blizzard's copyrighted material of
True.
Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it's even against the terms of service, so they could have banned us from our retail accounts had they chosen to. They did. But why did we shut down? There's plenty of private servers that keep on running. They get cease and desist orders from Blizzard and Blizzard's lawyers all the time. So what made Nostalrius different than the other dozens of private servers
Subtitles?
that
Okay.
ignored Blizzard? Well,
There
we
you
had a mission in mind. We created Nostalrius because we wanted players to have a place, a home that they could live and experience Classic all over again. And we saw an opportunity with our massive player base to put into movement a mission to have Blizzard officially make their own version of WoW Vanilla. Now, we weren't the first people to come up with this idea of legacy servers, Blizzard run legacy servers. It had been a question at many BlizzCons. In fact, the most famous quote about the legacy server movement happened at a BlizzCon. I'm sure you remember this.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansion?
I wonder what happened to this guy. What do you, who, does anyone know who this guy is? I wonder what happened to this guy, man. I wonder if this guy even played Classic. Yeah, he probably did. He's a Scarab Lord? Oh, shit, really?
As they were then.
No.
No.
And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
You think you do, but you don't. Words uttered at the 2013 BlizzCon, a full 3 years prior to Nostalrius' shutdown, that proved those words false. Now, why am I bringing up you think you do, but you don't? It's been a well-beaten horse for a long time that Jay Allen was wrong about this. Well, it just proves a little bit about how we were feeling as a community, that Blizzard wasn't.
I'm gonna link the
hearing
video here
us.
too, guys.
And here we have Nostalrius with its millions of characters that don't officially, fully have a home to play on. And it was time for Blizzard to step up. So we created the petition.
You know what Blizzard did? They saw these Nostalrius stats, and they got out their Windows calculator, and they were like, wait, 1 million times 15 a month. Oh, fuck. Times 12. Oh, fuck. And they're like, yeah, you know, like, maybe we should do that.
On Change.org,
What the fuck?
that ended up having 279,000 people sign as a letter to Mike Morhaime and Blizzard Entertainment, asking them to again revisit the idea of legacy servers and start investing the resources that we knew Blizzard had into creating these original versions of the best MMO that's ever existed. Remarkably, and to Blizzard's credit, they stepped up. They invited the Nostalrius team to go to their Blizzard headquarters, to their corporate executive boardroom, and to give a presentation.
Damn. There's Nano. There he is. And there's Tom Chilton. There's J. Allen Brack.
On our server, and why legacy servers deserved more attention from them. And so we did. A few months later, in June of 2016, the Nostalrius team headed over to Blizzard headquarters.
There they are.
In surprising fashion. I mean, let's be real. What
In Californian
dudes
style.
in 2016 weren't jamming to Katy Perry all the time, right? It's just, yeah, I mean, everybody did it, right? Anyway, we met with the most important people we could have possibly met with to discuss legacy servers with. We talked with Mike Morhaime, J. Allen Brack, Tom Chilton, at the time game director for WoW, Ian Hazakostas, at the time associate game director for WoW, now current game director for WoW, as well as the technical director, the global PR manager, and numerous other people at Blizzard Entertainment that had a vested interest in seeing what we had to say about legacy servers. So we had our meeting, and everything would be great, right? Blizzard is just gonna make classic servers and done, right? Well, not really. After that meeting, it was dead silence from Blizzard for quite a long time. In fact, J. Allen Brack even wrote a letter prior to BlizzCon 2016 saying Blizzard was not going to talk about legacy servers at all.
I remember that, actually. I remember that.
I was feeling really defeated. We had invested our heart and soul in this meeting, and we had gotten really good feedback while we were there, but after we left, we heard nothing from Blizzard for months. even after a continued reach out. And so what were we supposed to do at that point? Were we just supposed to let the legacy server die?
What do you think Blizzard was hoping to gain by flying these guys out? Like, what was Blizzard's motive? Was it purely an optics thing? Or were they looking for, like, did they want, it was a PR thing? Yeah, I kind of think it was a PR thing, actually, to arrest them. Yeah, and now this guy Nano Nost is actually in Guantanamo Bay with a car battery and electrodes hooked up to his nipples and testicles, getting shocked on a daily basis by Ian Haskostas. And some say he's there right now getting electrocuted. Electroshock therapy. That's what they say. Or he could be in Twitch chat watching us watch this video right now. Who knows? But I think it was a PR thing, honestly, because the story goes is that, like, they didn't even have the data for it. And then Omar Gonzalez, who recently quit Blizzard and is now working for Dreamhaven, it was like a passion project of his that he was like digging through the old fucking like Warcraft archive warehouse, and he found like the 112 client on a like fucking 1 gig flash drive or whatever the fuck, and then he like retrofitted it all up, right? So, which puts into perspective this meeting. Yeah, it probably was an optics thing, because they probably didn't even have the capacity to make Classic WoW. In fact, I think it was after this meeting, it was like 2016 or 2017 or something. Remember when they floated the idea of, what were they called? Fuck. What year was that also? They floated the idea of, what was the word for it? Pristine servers. Yeah, pristine servers, where it's like, hey, we'll let you play World of Warcraft like on the current expansion, but we're going to get rid of heirlooms and XP boosts and all of this like sort of like, you know, fluffer shit. And everyone is like, no, what the fuck? Like, this is not what anyone wanted. This is not at all what anyone wanted.
Is the dream dead? Well, we took things into our own hands, and that's when the Elysium project happened. So we released the server code for the entire Nostalrius project to the Elysium team,
I remember this.
including the player databases for both of our servers.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm not going to go into the details of the Elysium project, Light Hope, the whole private server history. I'm not going to go into that. That's a...
Remember Shenna? Oh, man. Remember Shenna? God, she was like a fucking psychopath. God. Kroggy... Here's the thing with Kroggy, right? I don't think Kroggy was like a psychopath. I think he was just like kind of a simp for Shenna. And he was just like doing whatever she wanted to do. But like you could tell, like Shenna was like, she was like fucking crazy, dude. She was like fucking psycho.
Story for somebody else to tell at another time. What I will talk about for the first time ever publicly is about the legal heat that the Nostalrius team faced from Blizzard for partnering with the Elysium project.
Okay, some of you guys don't know who Shenna Krog. Okay, so what he's saying here is after Nostalrius got shut down, the Nostalrius guys gave the database and the server hosting core information to another team called the Elysium team. And so it was a different team, and they were going to like bring back up all of these characters and the servers back up, not under the name of Nostalrius, but under the name of Elysium. And so it was a different private server staff that was hosting this server. And who was in charge of this staff was a woman named Shenna and another guy called Kroggy. And they were kind of like, it turned out that they were dating and sort of seeing each other. And what ultimately happened was Shenna was like a scumbag, and she was like embezzling money, and like every month on the forums, she was like a Russian chick. She would post on the forums like, oh, we don't have enough money to pay for server hosting fee. We need a donation goal of $5,000 to keep paying for server hosting, da-da-da-da-da. And so people would donate money to like keep the server alive. And then after like a couple months, it came out that it got leaked that fucking Shenna and Kroggy were like embezzling the money, and they actually went on a vacation to Montenegro for like 2 weeks with the money that they stole from the private server. And they actually had this ingenious fucking plot, okay? This is what they would do, okay? Let me break it down. It's gonna take a second. They would spawn gold / rank 14 characters, and then they would wholesale sell the shit to third-party gold selling sites. So they would spawn these characters and spawn this gold, and then sell the characters and the gold to third-party gold selling sites. And then players buy this shit, and then Shenna bans players for buying shit from third-party sites. So they would say, your account's been detected for buying whatever the fuck. Okay, so, and then you would get banned for it. And then on the third-party sites sell unbans. So the third-party sites would have a button to say, yo, we have a man on the inside. We have a fucking GM. He's on our payroll. We got an undercover agent on the inside, and we can actually sell you an unban if you pay $50. And so this was the cycle of what happened on Elysium and Light Soap, and it just boop, boop, boop. And they probably made so much fucking money from that shit. I'm telling you, like they probably cashed the fuck out, dude.
Releasing our code.
Crazy.
I personally had a private investigator hired to track me down by a legal firm that represents Blizzard.
Holy shit.
He called numerous people in my life, including my employer, my owner of my company, to confirm information about me so he could serve me papers at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday night, slamming and knocking on the door, freaking the crap out of my wife, and waking up my baby daughter in the next room. The amount of pressure that Blizzard put on the Nostalrius team was immense. They tried to have us roll everything back, try to steal everything back from the Elysium project.
No shit.
They did not want Pandora's box to be opened.
Wow.
They felt the Elysium project, having the Nostalrius core and the number of players that were invested in that, was opening Pandora's box.
And the thing is, like, Shenna and, like, the Elysium team, they had been hosting other vanilla private servers for, like, the last 5 or 6 years. I forget the name of the server they hosted before that, but, like, their version of vanilla, their core was, like, completely fucking dog shit. And so it was, like... Most private servers were dog shit because the scripting was terrible and everything was broken and buggy. And so when they got dude, I can only imagine like how hard Shanna's dick was when she got the fucking Nostalrius core. She was probably seeing fucking dollar signs when she got that shit, dude.
Now,
it was called Valkyrie WoW, right? Yeah,
behind the scenes is that Blizzard actually was starting to work on Classic at this point. And they were protecting their IP in a significant way because they were planning to have Classic be a legit game service that they were going to provide, so they want to protect it more so than ever. But what we felt was big bad Blizzard coming down, bearing down on our necks, ready to chomp us because we were getting in the way and we were causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole story of the Elysium project, being the heir apparent from Nostalrius, and Nostalrius taking away the seal of approval, and that whole mess that caused a lot of drama, a lot of hatred towards me, towards the Nostalrius project in general. This is a little bit more context for you. Now, you might say it's just a threat. Cease and desist orders happen all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go in legal jeopardy. That's something for you to decide when that happens to you. But when it happened to me, I look at my wife,
it's some real shit.
I look at my daughter, I look at my job, and I look at my resources, which weren't that many.
It's some scary shit. It is. Yep.
And so we pulled away from the Elysium project in a big way, and we tried to salvage what we could. We played nice with Blizzard, and the rest is history. So after that, that was basically the end of the Nostalrius project. The 5 of us each kind of went our separate ways. Damon and Viper disappeared into oblivion, essentially. Tyrael and Ithlian, I think, still play together today, which is great, and I went on my own way. I pulled back from the WoW private scene pretty heavily. I told my guild I was going to quit playing for now because my wife didn't want me to associate with it at all, which is reasonable, given the fact that a private investigator banged on her door 2 days before Christmas.
True.
And yeah, it was a dark period for the classic WoW scene. But then something pretty incredible happened.
What happened?
I want to take a minute.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to talk about ice cream.
All right, so I'm going to stop here. I'm gonna give you some context for where I'm at. I'm sitting in a Starbucks in between my work and my home, where I would do some office work outside of my actual office because I have a sales job and I drive around and all that kind of stuff. So I'm watching BlizzCon in this Starbucks with my headphones in, and this dude says ice cream, and I start freaking out.
Ice cream is great. Ice cream is one of my favorite desserts. Personally, I love chocolate, and I love cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is actually my all-time favorite dessert. But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla.
It's a grown man sitting in a Starbucks watching an international convention for a video game company, and he starts crying.
Here's my thing, man. Like, I was actually asleep. I had the day off, and I was laying in bed sleeping. It was like 2 in the afternoon. I was taking a nap. I knew BlizzCon was happening. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, fuck Blizzard. Fucking Warlords of Draenor. Who gives a fuck? They're never gonna announce Classic or whatever. It was like, I was like totally tabbed out of anything Blizzard or anything World of Warcraft because retail was dog shit. And so I remember like waking up and like my Discord was blowing up. They're like, oh my god, they did it. And I remember waking up and seeing about the DMs about it. And I was like, no, they didn't. I went back to sleep for another like 2 or 3 hours. And then later that night, I woke up and I sat down at the desk and I was like, oh, wow, fuck. But no, I actually wasn't even watching it live.
Because some dude...
I was doomed out. Yep, true.
Who he used to really not like said vanilla.
Damn.
And this is kind of where I wanted to land. Because why would a grown man cry about a video game coming out? It doesn't make any sense, especially one that's already come out. Why am I having such a visceral, emotional reaction to this game? And I think it's because this game, for many of us, has been life for a long time. Some of my best friends in life I met in Azeroth, in World of Warcraft, the original version, and I still have them today. I'm still raiding with a number of them. Today in Classic that I raided Naxxramas with in 2005. It's insane the amount of relationships we can build in this world, and I just wanted to have it back. And we got it back. Now, whether it was the same as it was back then is a whole different video, and maybe we'll get into that soon. But, man, I'm glad that Blizzard made Classic. It's been an incredible experience. And this story has been really cool. And it's not going to end here either. TBC is coming and new stories are going to be told, and I'm excited to do those as well. But I just want to take some time as we make this transition from Classic to TBC that I get to tell this story finally for the first time of my experience being on the front lines of pushing for Classic to begin with. And I wanted to also say thank you. If you're watching this, if you've watched any in Nostalrius, if you played on Nostalrius, if you signed the petition, even if you didn't do any of those and thought that we were fools, I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this story of mine, but also to be a part of this community of World of Warcraft and what it can mean to people. So
it's an epic story.
Thanks for coming with me on this story and learning a little bit more about this background in the Nostalrius about me, and I look forward to talking to you guys more soon. See ya.
All right, let's get some hearts in the chat. Let's get some Nano Nost hearts in the chat. I think we should have some.
Hey, so I normally end the video here, but I just want to say thanks again for watching. This is the first YouTube content I've ever created. I think as of right now, I have 1 subscriber on YouTube. So if anybody checks this out, I really appreciate it.
I'm gonna spam the video.
What I'd really love for you to do, you can like it, you can subscribe. That would be great. But if you could comment down below and give me some feedback, I would really love some constructive criticism, how I can make this better. I've been really hesitant to create any content for a long time because I've been really nervous about how it's going to be received. and I want everything that I put out to be of really good quality. So I would love to hear your feedback. Let me know how you would improve the video. Comment down below. And if you want to subscribe and see the next one, that would be great. So if you want more classic content,
there it is.
It's going to come. I'm not sure how quickly, but I want to make some videos and talk to you about how I'm thinking about classic and how we're moving to TBC.
I think Nano's take on what's going on with any news or, you know, whatever's Blizzard doing with Classic, I think it's one of the best takes you can have on Classic and Vanilla and what Blizzard's doing and changes they're making, whatever. So definitely should subscribe. Definitely should. Everyone should sub and follow and sub and follow and sub and follow. Dude, I'll tell you, like, I totally did not think they were going to do Classic. And I remember, man, like, dude, I remember, so I was in school, I was studying biology, and I was working maybe 25, 30 hours a week at this, I was working at a drug recovery clinic, doing drug testing. And I had my life plan set up. I was going to finish my degree. I was going to work in a medical lab. I was going to do this and do that. Never did I think I was going to be a streamer. Like, I never thought I was going to be a full-time streamer. And when Classic was announced, I remember it was, what, November 2017? I was like, wow, okay, you know, it's probably going to take them like 2 years to get this out the door. So I'm going to start streaming, you know, in my free time. It's going to be a pursuit of mine. I'm going to start making videos, and I'm going to try to, like, I'm going to give myself 2 years. I'm going to try to build a community and build a stream and build a YouTube channel, and I think I have 2 years to do it because it's my life dream to be able to stream Classic WoW full-time. And I remember, so I started streaming, I was like, you know, I was still in school, I was still working, and in my free time, I had like maybe 3 or 4 hours a day to stream. And some of you were here at that point, like, I know Frag Monkey was around back then. This is 3 years ago, so Frag Monkey's here. We have some really old viewers that were here back in the old days. Anyway, so I was streaming like 3 or 4 hours a day, and on the weekends, almost every weekend, because I had weekends off, almost every weekend I would do a 24-hour stream. So there were like, it was rough. Like every Saturday going into Sunday, I would do a 24-hour stream, and then throughout the rest of the week, I would stream maybe 3 or 4 hours a day because that's all I had time for. But I was like grinding because I was still in school, I was still working, I was in a relationship. I had Leica was young, and so but it was like I knew I wanted to do it. It was hard. And easy vibes. Anyway, dude, what happened was, I think it was like probably 5 months went by before I was able to do it full time. And back then, I had a very low cost of living. But now we're getting on to like kind of my story, right? And it was rough because you couldn't stream private servers, not allowed. So we were streaming Legion and just flying around, pretty much just watching Vanilla WoW videos and like talking about Vanilla WoW and reading Vanilla WoW forums, and just, we were just fucking, it's actually, we were doing what we still do to this day, where we just sit here and watch videos and complain about things, pretty much. We were just stalling, yeah. We were just fucking stalling, yeah, exactly. We still do it 3 years later, man. Just reacting.